You're watching ATN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to do our review for the next episode of The Flash. And just a real quick update for you guys who also watch my Arrow reviews. I know I've missed the last 2 weeks. I've been unbearably sick up until recently. So tomorrow, when I do my review for the Arrow, we'll shortly discuss the last 2 episodes before I get into details about tomorrow's episode. As far as this episode goes of The Flash, it was good. We finally got to see Gorilla Grodd in a big way, and boy, do I mean big. That's a big dude. That's a big guy right there. And you know, it's getting to that end there. There's obviously the relationship we know that Wells had with Grodd. However, the relationship we know of is the real Wells had with Grodd. Not necessarily Eobard, you know, depending on how far back him and Grodd go, but it looks like there was a relationship that started there at some point, and obviously Eobard took that over and now taking advantage of Grodd to basically do some of his dirty work while he continues to prepare to make his way home. Look, I mean, Grodd, I knew for a fact he wasn't dead when the train hit him. I mean, let's be honest. It's not that easy. And we see just how powerful this enemy is. As odd as it may seem for people who don't read the comics, now granted, I don't read the comics as well, but I do know of Gorilla Grodd from some of you guys who told me about him when he first debuted earlier this season. And, you know, that's the stuff of the comics. It's a character. It's a very powerful character, and they brought him onto the show. The CG is incredible. He's obviously very big. And one of the things I liked about this episode a lot, too, was the scary, you know, little eerie when they were in the sewer. You know what I mean? Very almost, I don't want to say horror movie because there's no blood and gore, but almost very suspense movie type, you know? Barry gets smacked out of nowhere. Joe gets pulled up out of nowhere. Cisco shitting his pants. And then even when they finally showed Joe and Gorilla Grodd approached him, we see the extent of his power. You know, making Joe put the gun to his head and cock the gun. And you saw, I mean, I've never seen Joe that scared before, short of what happened when he got captured by the Weather Wizard before Barry went back in time. And, you know, the thing of it is that when when he pulled out that banana, I said, Joe, what are you doing? You know that's going to piss this guy off. This is not a normal gorilla. You don't offer him a banana. Now, and the funny thing is, you know, they, I can't remember his name now, and they said it in the show like several times, but obviously manipulating, I want to say the general, and obviously manipulating him to do some dirty work. And actually, it's funny. My wife's watching with me, and she says, "Is that Deathstroke?" And it's funny, you know, it kind of did look like Deathstroke in terms of the outfit. Obviously, I knew who it was right away. I'm sure a lot of you did as well. If you watch the trailers, you pretty much know who it was. And just the extent of his power, Gorilla Grodd's power is incredible because not only was he mind controlling him, but at the same time, he still got into Barry's mind, and then top that off with his brute strength. Meanwhile, Wells is with his long ancestor, Eddie, and basically just shits on him. I mean, basically just tells him that his life amounts to nothing, and he doesn't even get the woman he loves. I thought that he was going to exchange bodies with him. That's what I thought until obviously the end. You see that he is prepared now to return back to his time period. I really thought that he was going to say, look, if I'm going to be stuck here, I might as well take a younger body, and at least it's somebody who's in my bloodline, so it'll kind of be something, you know, like almost being home. But no, now he still might do that. Don't get me wrong. He still might do that. I mean, before he leaves, he might take Eddie's body, figuring, well, that'll give me an extra 10, 20, 30 years of life back in my time. So there's still a chance of that, but we don't 100% know. But it was a solid episode. You know what I mean? I like seeing Gorilla Grodd. I'm glad they somewhat dedicated an episode to him. I think he is going to have a bigger role in the second season. I don't really think, obviously this one is about the Reverse Flash. That is the end game. But I think Grodd is going to be the focus of season 2. And it makes perfect sense. He's a very, very powerful character, both obviously mentally and physically imposing. I mean, can you imagine him running around Central City and causing havoc? So, interesting stuff. Now, on to the Iris stuff. So, Iris confronts Barry. She knows who he is. Still very annoying. Still very annoying. Even my wife. My wife's like, look, I'm getting tired of this bitch. And it's, you know, she has such high expectations without really knowing how things are on the other side. And I understand. She's got the Thea syndrome. The only difference is Thea, to me, was a little bit more understandable because, I don't know, I guess it's the deliveries. You know what it is? Thea, to me, seems more forgiving. Where Iris, like, once it's all out on the table, once they say I'm sorry, once they explain why they did it, which is good reason, she's still a bitch. She doesn't try to compromise. And, you know, after a while, it's just like, it's annoying to watch. It really is, because, you know, she has put Barry through so much crap already, you know, leading him on, making him think, and then he's dating someone and she's cock blocking him. It's just, after a while, I get tired of it. I really do. It's like, you know, so then she gives her father a hard time. Okay, fine. I can understand that. But, you know, and here's Barry working this case out in terms of the gold theft. And she confronts him for the first time. She's like, hey, you know, you think the Flash is out there. What do you think the Flash should do? Well, the Flash should be out. It's like, shut the fuck up, okay? He's got a lot on his plate. You know he's the Flash. So right there you should know this dude's got a lot on his plate. And he probably saved my ass a number of times. But she doesn't see it that way. She's what I'm seeing from her as a character is she is so consumed with her own feelings that she's not taking into consideration the feelings of the other ones. You know, I'm not saying lying to her was right, but taking into consideration, it wasn't easy for them to do, and their heart was in the right place. Be a little bit more forgiving. So I'm pretty much done with her. So if she dies, that would be great. We know she's not, because she eventually marries Barry. Poor guy, probably has a miserable life, except being the Flash, you know. So, but yeah, so that whole, you know, and I get it. You know, she's been lied to, blah, blah, blah. Now Eddie's taken, blah, blah, blah. But it's not just about Eddie. That's what was frustrating me. She has to understand it's not just about that. It's about a lot of things. Like when Barry was in Star Labs talking to her and said, you know, Harrison Wells, Reverse Flash, killed my mother. She, for maybe a second, looked concerned. And then 2 minutes later, it's back to Eddie again, who she doesn't even really love, because the conversation she had with Joe, she basically confessed her love for Barry by blaming Joe for not telling her how Barry felt. And Joe was right in saying, that's not my business to tell. That's not for me to tell. That's up to him. And if she liked him that much, well, what the fuck, man? We're in new times now, man. Say something yourself. You make the fucking move. Tradition's been thrown out the window nowadays. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? So you might as well, if you like the guy as well, just go and tell him. You know what I'm saying? So now she's all about Eddie, who just a couple of weeks ago, she was shitting on him. Done. Done. This character is not a good character. I mean, it's good for that conflict. Maybe they wrote her that way because they know that certain viewers would hate her so much, they'd have no other choice but to watch and see just how further she could annoy them. So maybe that's the case. But overall, good episode. Look, at this point, I'm so excited for the payoff. It's not that this episode was bad. It just, that's what I'm ready for. You know, Grodd was great, and we know he's going to be a big deal next year, but I'm ready for payday. That's what I'm ready for. So until we get it, this is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers, or visit ETN's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description. You're watching ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to do our review for the next episode of The Flash. And just a real quick update for you guys who also watch my Arrow reviews. I know I've missed the last 2 weeks. I've been unbearably sick up until recently. So tomorrow, when I do my review for the Arrow, we'll shortly discuss the last 2 episodes before I get into details about tomorrow's episode. As far as this episode goes of The Flash, it was good. We finally got to see Gorilla Grodd in a big way, and boy, do I mean big. That's a big dude. That's a big guy right there. And you know, it's getting to that end there. There's obviously the relationship we know that Wells had with Grodd. However, the relationship we know of is the real Wells had with Grodd, not necessarily Eobard. You know, depending on how far back him and Grodd go, but it looks like there was a relationship that started there at some point, and obviously Eobard took that over, and